Girl, it's Vlogmas. So I'm on here to give you 4 tips and a bonus tip on how you can execute Vlogmas without feeling overwhelmed and without feeling burned out like most of us do when we decide to pick up the camera and just roll with it. Now, I know you've been thinking about doing Vlogmas. I know, because you are a brand. Okay, you are an entrepreneur, you have products or services to sell, so I know you've thought about it, and I'm on here to help you. These tips are both production tips and personal styling tips, so that all you have to do is just deliver amazing content to your audience, bring them in, build your know, like, and trust, so that eventually people will buy your shit and you can be great and have enough money in the bank and live the way you want to live. You'll find links to everything mentioned in this video in the show notes, and you'll find a link to get to the show notes in the description below wherever you are watching this video. So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll find the link to the show notes in the description box, and if you're watching this on the blog, scroll down, the links are there. Hello, hun. Shantell here. I'm gonna jump into these tips, but first I want to let you know what's been happening in the studio. So yesterday, I think yesterday was December 1st, December 2nd. It was freaking cold, but it was the day that I decided that I was going to officially start decorating the studio. And the theme this year is snowflakes, and I wanted to show you kind of what I'm using and what I'm doing. So you can see over there that I've started putting some of these snowflakes, and I just love the way that kind of, like, every time it turns, I don't know, I just like it. It just, like, when it turns around, it's not like it's shiny or shimmery or anything. It's just really effective at, like, helping to change my mood and make me feel Christmassy. There's also this happening. These are paper snowflakes, and I've got to figure out how I want to display them, because this doesn't feel right. I kind of want to do something that's simple but very, very effective. All of these decorations are from a company called Itsy Bitsy Party Co, which I found on Amazon, and they sell paper decorations. It's a sustainable way of being able to put party decorations up, and the idea is that you can just use them and then take them down and use them again. They come in these little envelopes, and when you open them up, they turn into these wonderful Christmassy shapes, and they've got Velcro on the back, and you stick them together, and then they come with some string and you can hang them up. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, but I need a few more utensils, I need some glue tack, and I need some string. So hopefully that's going to turn out well. And what I'm also doing this weekend is I'm retwisting my hair, and I'm basically just chilling out. It's super cold outside, and I've got food in specifically so I don't have to leave my home. Okay, I will keep you updated. I'll let you know how the decorations fan out. Okay, Vlogmas tips. I wanted to check in with you, because this is the time of year when content creators want to seize the opportunity to get more eyes on their videos. And I'm no exception. I have done Vlogmas in the past, and there's a lot of pressure behind it, and there's a lot of burnout that's possible to come from it, and there's a lot of anxiety that comes from it, and you don't know that you're going to feel this until you actually do it. And I did Vlogmas, I don't know, a few years ago, and it was terrible. Those videos are terrible. I love them, but they're absolutely terrible. I'll leave a link to my Vlogmas playlist in the show notes, and you'll find the show notes, a link to the show notes below wherever you are tuning into this video. So I'm not the only one that has these problems. I've watched lots of Vlogmas, lots of creators on YouTube, and they all succumb to the same issues, right? Poor planning and poor preparation, and they don't often they don't make it until the end of the month. Now I'm shooting these tips for you in this Vlogmas style because first, I didn't prepare for this video. I just had this idea and I woke up and I said I want to execute it and get it out to you as quickly as possible, and that is a video. And I'm doing it in this style because I do not want to have to edit this video. So when I upload this video to YouTube, I'm going to cut out the bits that didn't work, and it's going to work as a wonderful seamless video. Okay, that's because I want to save time, and time is essential for planning your Vlogmas and for it coming out the way you actually want it to come out. So tip number 1, don't do all 31 days in Vlogmas. Vlogmas, or the point of Vlogmas, was in order for the person in front of the camera to be able to build a deeper connection with the audience that they either want to follow them because they have a personal brand, or to feel more comfortable to buy products or services from them because they are entrepreneurs with their own business. It's a kind of it's an informal way of being able to market to your audience without feeling like your audience feeling like they're being marketed to. Just a way to kind of tap in and to be present in their space over Christmas. It doesn't have to mean that you have to do every single day in Vlogmas. And if you've never done Vlogmas before, attempting to do something every single day, it's just a mistake. All you're going to do is run into chaos, and you're going to feel anxiety, and you're going to be infrequent with your uploads, and there'll be no consistency. What you can do is, rather than doing the whole 31 days, is just to choose a part, a section, a few days within Vlogmas, within December, where you can tap in with your audience and show them how you're doing. So it could be either the way you prep, it could be what you execute, or it could be something specific like a tradition that you like to do by yourself or with your partner or with your family or with your friends. So you could do the first week, so from day 1 to day 7, how you kind of slowly get yourself into Christmas, whether or not you're feeling Christmassy around that time, the decorations that you're choosing, the theme, like I did just now. You can show the theme of your decorations. You can show yourself decorating your studio for the first 7 days, decorating your office, decorating your building. Whatever you do, you can do this. This is still great content to to market your brand or your service or your product to your end user. You can also choose maybe the middle bit of Christmas where it starts to get a little bit chaotic. Maybe you're someone that buys your gifts last minute, and you can just film those like 3 days when you're trying to figure out who you're going to buy presents for, where you're going to buy them, and then you can show your audience what you're buying. Or you can choose the 3 days just before the big day, before Christmas Day, and show how you prep, what food you're doing, who's coming round, the drinks that you're preparing. You could do those 3 days because those are really hot days, you know what I mean? If you're preparing Christmas and you're responsible for Christmas, those are 3 hot days, you know what I mean? The countdown. Or maybe if you're somebody that celebrates Kwanzaa, you can share with your audience how you are able to do this whilst everybody else has basically done with Christmas, because Kwanzaa is from the 26th to the 1st of January, and most of the people in the world, Christmas is done. But you can show how you celebrate that time and what you do to connect and celebrate a more spiritual time of the year for you. Tip number 2. Don't shoot Vlogmas in December. Do it around July. Hold on. I know what you're thinking. You're like, wait, Vlogmas is about Christmas. She wants me to shoot it in the summer. Yes. I got a little story to tell you. A little story. In my previous life, I was a personal trainer, and I worked for a company called LA Fitness. I used to work out the routines for people. I used to do fitness plans for people. I used to do evaluations for people. I used to hold classes, the whole shaboodle. I had a colleague there, and one day we got talking, and we were talking about like Christmas and what we were doing for New Year's. And I said to my friend, hey, you know what I love around New Year's? I always tune into the Jules Holland show. That is my thing. That is my thing for New Year's. I don't often go out because it's really, really cold. And I just stay and I watch that, and it is a good time. And she said, hey, do you know what? My dad actually works on the production and we have had tickets to go, and we've gone every year, and it's a really, really good time. And I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. I would love to go. I watch it and I always think to myself, how would you actually get tickets for that show? And I said to her, would your dad be able to get tickets for this New Year's? And she said no, there's no more tickets because it's already done. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, oh, they shoot their New Year's in October. She said, yeah, no, it's not shot on New Year's Eve. And I was like, are you kidding me? Mind blown. I was like, what? I'm here dancing up with my little drink, my little tutu rum and pineapple mix. I'm dancing up. I'm like, hey, just, do you know what I mean? I'm seeing people in the audience, these comedians, these UK comedians. I'm like having a good time, and I'm like, and you're telling me they shot this in October? And she said, yeah. I didn't know whether or not to be angry or like whether or not to think it was a good idea. I don't know. I was just shooken, right? I was shooken. This is actually common practice for all networks, because there's a lot of things you have to plan when you are going to make content around that particular time of the year. You need to prep, you need to get everything in order, you need to understand what you're going to be making videos about. So this tip bounces off of tip number 1, where I remember when I said don't shoot all 31 days. You don't have to do it in July, but you want to do it a few months before Vlogmas. So let's say July you plan, which part of the December am I going to actually do? Am I going to do the last few days, the days before Christmas, the first day, right? Sorted. Then you can decide, what do I want to share with my audience? Maybe you like to bake. Maybe you always do some kind of cookie or muffin, and that can be what you do for your content for a week over Vlogmas. What you're going to do, where you get your recipes from, maybe share your recipe with your audience, take them out with you shopping, right? Prepping your ingredients, making it, and then the finished item. That is a perfect series over 1 week or a few days during December. What you can also do is you can decorate the space in which you're going to be making that cookie or that muffin. You decorate it with your Christmas decorations. You want to create a Christmassy vibe, right? A few decorations, you wearing a party hat, but you're giving yourself time to execute this properly. So you're preparing what you're going to do, you're writing your scripts, you're deciding what your content's going to be in July. You shoot it in October. You edit it in October, and you upload and schedule it for December. And what that does is it stops you from feeling burnout. You're prepared, and you will have a consistent run of videos that your audience can look forward for a small space of time every day during Vlogmas. And that also means that you don't have to be worrying about carrying around a camera and talking all day and having to edit when you still got turkey to do. Maybe you're doing a vegan dish, maybe you're in charge of cocktails. You don't get to enjoy Christmas when you're actually vlogging. I can tell you that, because in my videos, all I was doing in my Vlogmas was complaining about how Vlogmas was really taking up a lot of my time. Again, I will leave the links in the show notes so you can see the catastrophe in which my Vlogmas was. Vlogmas has started already. Don't worry about it. You still got time to implement this tip. So if you're at the beginning of December, you can take the next week to plan out what you're going to do and how long you're going to do it for. Write yourself up a quick script, a quick plan of your content, and then shoot it the following week and upload it in the last week of Vlogmas. It's cool. You can do that. Or maybe you can just pick up the camera next weekend and just shoot your weekend and everything that happens. But all I'm saying is, do not shoot and then upload the next day. It's just gonna slow you down. It's just gonna cause burnout. Trust me, even if you edit your videos on your phone, there's gonna be a moment where something happens and you're gonna run out of time, and then you've done 2 days, and then it's gonna be 6 days until you get back on the camera, and you're gonna end up saying to your audience, hey, I know it's been a couple of days, but things have happened. You can avoid that if you just choose a small section of Vlogmas that's gonna be your section of Vlogmas that you share with your audience. So tip number 3 and tip number 4 are going to be about personal styling. What you're choosing to wear during your Vlogmas shoot. This is essential. This is an essential thing to think about, because you do not want to leave this until the last moment. Tip number 3. Wear the same thing every single day in your video. I don't want to give you this Steve Jobs quote, but Steve Jobs did say that he saves a lot of time. I'm paraphrasing. He saves a lot of time by wearing the same thing every day. And man wore the same, like turtleneck top, black turtleneck top every day, because it reduced his thinking about what he had to wear, and it saved him time. And that was his uniform, and you can do the same thing too. Now, you don't have to be boring like him. I mean, I'm not saying he's boring. I'm just saying you don't have to wear what he wore every day. But you can create your own uniform, and you can make it more to your taste or more to the kind of person that you are. So for example, you can wear the same print every day. If you're like me and you love wearing leopard prints, you can wear a leopard print every day, the same one, or a different leopard print every single day. Now, I know we're shooting Vlogmas and you're like, shouldn't I be Christmassy? This is your Vlogmas. You can do whatever you want. You can make leopard work for Christmas. You can do Vlogmas leopard Christmas. You can make it work. I believe in you. You can. If you are somebody that really just wants to kind of push that Christmas thing and you want to wear something Christmassy, wear the same Christmas jumper every day. Reduce your stress, reduce the amount you have to do. Just put it on every single day. Now, if you like to be more minimal with your style, then you can choose a color. Wear the same color every day. You can wear something light or you can wear something dark. That is probably one of the best tips that I can give you for just reducing stress and saving time. Now, if you're not going to be wearing something Christmassy, there are other ways for you to create a Christmas feel to your outfit, and you can have accessories that are Christmassy. You can wear glasses that are Christmassy. You could have a put some tinsel around your neck and use it as like a tinsel necklace. There's ways for you to be able to dress up something plain and to still feel like, give the audience that feeling that you are, you're being Christmassy, you're involved in Christmas. What I'm trying to say is that a uniform helps you not have to think or stress about what to wear every day. And it's perfect for bulk shooting. And you're going to be bulk shooting now, right? It's going to be an option because you're only choosing a small segment of the month, and you can probably pop out 3 or 4 videos in one day. That also saves you time, because production is a bitch and you want to save time. And editing, as much as I love it, it's a time sucker. So you can save time by just wearing the same thing every day. Tip number 4, style yourself to suit your environment that you will be shooting in. I keep talking about how every step is an essential step, but this is a really important step. I don't want to leave this until the last moment. There are lights that you have to have in your production studio, room, bedroom, kitchen, wherever you do it, and these lights help to give your video a better look and feel. Lighting is very important if you're doing video. You're not new to this. You make videos for your brand. You get it. What you also know is that lights, as they get hotter and hotter, they make the room hotter and hotter, and you get hot. And sweating is a real thing. Sweating is just part of making videos. It's a real thing. Also, you could be standing in one position for a very long time, or you might be sitting in one position in a very long time. It's a lot for you to do. You're doing a lot. You're under these hot lights, you're in one position, you're executing. There's a lot of things going on. So you want to dress to suit your environment. You want to choose a garment that is going to be cool, right? So that you don't overheat with the hot lights, and is going to be comfortable so that you are not being distracted from delivering your content. I've seen it. I've seen people wear the wrong thing on camera, and then I can see them being distracted whilst they're trying to execute their video podcast per se. I see this a lot in video podcasts. Someone just didn't give enough time to think about what they were going to wear on camera, and I can see them like fussing and pulling at the garment because it didn't suit their environment. A lot of the time I catch people where I notice where people have gone wrong, where like they've worn something that like is really short, and they did not remember that they sit in a chair to shoot their podcast, and the camera angle is a little lower, and you get a really good view up their skirt. So this doesn't need to be you. So dress for hot lights, dress for what you're going to be executing that day, dress for where you're taking your if you're shooting outside, dress for that. You want to choose something that's light, that is cooling and allows you to move around, so that your movements are not restrictive. And moving in a video, it's expressive and it helps people learn a little bit more about you. You know, if you're just stationary in your video and you're just doing this, it might be difficult for people to watch you. But if you're expressive and you're using different tones, you know how I always talk with my hands? Yeah, it brings you in, right? You feel like I'm really talking to you. Cool. So here is the bonus tip. I want to give you some examples of the style of garment that you can wear that looks great on camera and is very, very easy for you to dress up or dress down or to accessorize for doing your Vlogmas videos. So if you are shooting from the waist up and you don't need to worry about the bottoms, so like you can keep your pajama bottoms on or you can keep your slouchy trousers on. You're really just thinking about where the camera is going to be centered. If you want to add a little bit of sexiness to your look, you can do so by wearing something that's off the shoulder or wearing something that reveals a little bit of skin that has a relaxed fit but looks sophisticated on camera. For example, like our Bancroft boxy tops. Our Bancroft boxy top that's perfect for the situation would be the standard length. Our standard length, this one drops over the bum and skims the thigh, and perfect if the camera is just going to be centered on this part of your body. Now, if you're somebody that likes to wear prints, but you're not really someone that likes to wear Christmassy prints, because I know some of you out there exist, then I would tell you to opt for a print that expresses who you are, what you value, and something that you're interested in. And this print should be something that really helps the audience understand a little bit more about you and helps them decide if you're their kind of person or not you're their kind of person, which is why prints are amazing. They're one of the best ways to express who you are without actually having to say anything about who you are. We're visual creatures, and we're able to read a person's personality from the colors that they choose to wear and also the prints that they wear. For example, a great option would be the My Mona top. The My Mona boxy top is a very statement-y, it's a very stunning print. It's a beautiful print, but it makes an immediate statement. It's minimalist in terms that it's not flashy, but it's statement in terms of like the print size is big enough and people know exactly who you are and what you stand for when you when you wear it. It is a wonderful print. So wherever you choose to wear, make sure that you think about your accessories and if they're going to complement it, especially if you're somebody that doesn't like to wear prints. If you're someone that likes to wear plain minimalist tops, I get you. I am one of those people too. I call myself a plain perv. I have a lot of plain tops in my wardrobe selection, and I have a really fun time accessorizing them, and they're one of the easiest things to accessorize. A plain top is really, really easy to accessorize, and if you go for a top that is dark or a top that is light, most accessories are going to work really well with them because the accessory has a neutral background to shine from, right? That contrast, it's not fighting with a print, and it's just sitting there and it's doing the job of making you look amazing. Again, another great example of a top that's able to easily be accessorized are our plain option boxy tops in the online store. So for you to see these boxy tops as a reference, just to give you an idea on what you can do and how you can style yourself, I've put links to every boxy top that I talked about in the show notes. And where can you find a link to get to the show notes? That's right, below wherever you are tuning in to this video. I hope that has been helpful for you. Vlogmas is a fun time of the year, and it is important for people to get eyes on our products because as an entrepreneur with a business, you don't have a business unless you have money, and you can't have money unless people buy your products, and people can't buy your products if they don't know about them. And this is a great time of year to let people know more about you, but without necessarily having to sell them things, but to bring them in gently and let them build some know, like, and trust. I am thirsty. I am tired. I've been talking to you for a while, and like I said, I did this video off the cuff, and honestly, I think I did really, really well.